Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a fusion card challenge for you today. You may know previously this fusion card challenge, you get the inspiration, you get the sketch, or you can fuse them together and play with both. I'm going to play with the picture. I've got this Magnolia stamp. It's an oldie but a goodie. A lot of people don't like magnolias, but I like them. They didn't have a nose, they didn't have a mouth, but you know, I liked them. I like the way they were drawn. So this is the thing I like about Fusion Card Challenge, is that you can use anything. I don't have an endless supply of stamps. I have quite a few, but I do not have an endless supply. So we're going to use, I'm a little bit zoomed in, but forgive me, but at least you can get a good look at the stamps. So I've got Uniquely Creative. I've got this gnome garden guys, and I'm just thinking about this little dude here. And then I've got Teacup Builder. That's going to be my flower. So I've already stamped my image. I've already done a mask because I was getting carried away, and then I went, what are you doing? Video it. So that's what I did. I've got this big bunch of flowers, and I'm just going to play around and just figure out how I wanted these little flowers. And we're going to move them down, move it over, and we're going to stamp it on the other side as well. So I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black for my ink, because of course I'm going to colour this with Copic markers, because that's what I do. The lines in the chair and the flowers are a little bit different. There's much finer lines in the chair compared to the flowers, but that's not going to be a big deal in the end. So don't stress about that sort of thing. So we're just going to move it over. I'm going to colour the flowers the same colour, as in, and I don't really know which flower is which, but the same flower is going to be coloured the same way. Okay, that's the point. So I think I'm pretty much going to show you one of the each of the flowers. Some of it you're not really going to see as much, but don't sweat it. It's all good. I'm actually going to, I really would have liked to put my little gnome sneaking out underneath the thing, but it just didn't look right when I sort of thought about it. So I've got this tiny little bit of masking paper from my chair, because I just need, I think, pretty much one little leaf, and that's all. So we only need a little tiny bit, so that's what we're going to go with. And I'm not even going to cut it fully out, as you can see there, because I just don't. We just don't need it because he's so tiny, and we're just going to put him off to the side. Now for a change, I'm actually not off the bottom, I'm off to the side, but no, I forget to zoom out and everything, because I really get enthralled in what I'm doing. One of the flowers is going to be the same color as this. I wanted this chair to have like a velvety sort of feel to it, and I thought it might be really, really cool to try and do that. And of course it's all matted, so I've just done a little bit of a shadow, like an L shadow sort of thing, and we're just going to fill that in. I'm not going to show it all to you because there is a little bit of colouring in this, so in the thought of time, I'm going to show you, I think, about half this panel, and then that's about it, and we're going to jump over to the cushions. So as you can see there, we've got BG78, BG75 and BG72. I'm really late with this. Like, I posted the photo over on Instagram on time. I was good, but I'm trying to finish off some study and I had to go away for work, which it was fun. It was fun work. I took a client away and we had a lot of fun, but it was extremely wet over the last weekend. If you're here in Melbourne, you will know it was a very, very wet weekend. It was actually a lot drier where I was. We went down to Porch, which is about, I think it's not quite an hour away from where I live. And we did so much walking and got rained on and got blown over, and because we are down the southern point of Australia and it's right where it's all exposed to Bass Strait. Let's go back here. The colour combinations we've got for the leaves, we've got BG96, G85 and G82 for my leaves, for something a little bit different in him. So the end of where it opens up into Bass Strait, there's a point where you have an old army, sort of back in the World War, basically protecting Melbourne. And it's obviously in ruins now because it's a fair way away, but it's very, very cool and very, very interesting. You can take a shuttle. It's about 1.4 kilometers away from where you park your car. I don't know what that is in miles, please forgive me. And my friend decided she wanted to walk, which was no big deal. I was quite happy to walk. Not so much happy when we decided to walk all the way back again. But, it's all fun and games. But it was quite windy, but that wasn't even the worst. It's not the worst. Don't get me wrong. It's not the worst. We also went to a place on Sunday when the weather was a lot worse, but still not as wet. Let's go back to this. We've got RV85, RV34 and RV32 for these flowers, which we're also going to colour in the little flower on top of our gnome dude. Next, we have the same colours as the velvet on the chairs. And we're going to do those with the same flowers on either side. So I like to repeat my colours. That's what it is. So we went down to Cape Schanck, which they have a lighthouse, and it's beautiful. It's really lovely, and you can go down a footpath. There's certain places in the footpath that you get absolutely blown over because it was a windy day, but it was lovely. I posted some shots over on my Instagram, so if you wanted to check those out, feel free to go over there. The link will be down below in the description box. The only bad thing, well, it was a false alarm, so it was good. But the only thing that put a dampener on our adventure was at 3 a.m. Now, my friend is a little bit hard of hearing. And I'm glad I was in the room with her because, I don't know, I don't think she would have heard the alarm go off. So let's go back to that. The yellow that we're using E81 for our it's really soft. Clearly it's really soft, but it's, they're all very, very soft colors, and we're using the E81 to give a little bit of depth. So we have E81, Y21 and Y11. I did have Y00, but I just didn't end up using it. Skin colors are just going to be the E11 and E01. the wood that for our chair, sort of a, maybe a homage to the Queen anyway. The wood that we've got for the chair is E57, E44 and E43. Yeah, so we were sound asleep. I wasn't sleeping very well because I was sleeping in a bedroom that wasn't mine, with someone else in the room. So I was aware of them, and I do tend to talk in my sleep. So I was a bit conscious of that. She's deaf. I don't know why. She also talks in her sleep. But anyway, she doesn't watch my channel. And 3 a.m, the fire alarm goes off. And of course, it is heart pounding loud at 3 a.m. when everything is so quiet, telling us to get up and evacuate immediately, and emergency, evacuate, emergency. Scared the bejeebies out of me, I will tell you that. Of course, as would anyone. So we jump out of bed. I had a pair of pajama pants, and I grabbed a jumper, and because I knew we were going outside, so I grabbed a jumper that was nowhere near going to be as adequate. But I quickly grabbed a jumper and woke her up, and we headed downstairs or upstairs, because it's a weird situation. You park your car down the bottom, and then you walk up the hill into reception, and then you walk down and underneath to your rooms. And there we stood until the fire alarm, the CFA rocked up to check it out. And in the end, the people told me the next day, in the end it was near the room where the alarm went off, there was a really strong sense of perfume. Now, I've been in a situation where hair dryers have set off things and they've just obviously gone off, but they think it was a strong sense of perfume. I can't imagine. Someone said to me, maybe someone was hiding, they were smoking in the room, but I'm like, I'm sure the CFA would be able to still figure that out. They're skilled enough to figure that out, you know what I mean? So a strong sense of perfume, really strong perfume set the fire alarm off. But luckily enough, we weren't out in the cold for too long. As I said, it went off about 3 a.m. and we were given the all clear to head back inside and back to bed at about 3:12. So it wasn't too bad. It was pretty good in the scheme of things. But yeah, we were a bit brain dead the next day. But anyway, that's my weekend adventure. Let's go back to this floor. I've just picked up completely the wrong colour, but as you can see there, I was managed to be able to hide it away. So we're using W5s, W3 and W1 to blend that all out. And you'll see, you really can't see too much of a difference, even though I picked up completely the wrong colour. So I'm trying to give a little bit of shadow for the seat and for the legs to give it the impression that it's sort of built up. Again, this is an older stamp set. I could not find a link for this. This is my favorite things. Now, I've got it down as essential sentiments, but every time I look at essential sentiments for my favorite things, they are actually their usual blocky letter writing, not the script writing. So I'm not too sure. I think it's discontinued, but a lot of different sentiments would do. I am not cutting this down whatsoever. I've just got to clean up my glue there a bit. I'm not cutting this down. We're going to have a full panel. I didn't want to lose any of my flowers or anything. I thought everything just worked in perfectly. And I don't do this very often. I've got another card that I want to show you where I think I've done it as well. But that's it. I'm using a white gel pen just to give a little bit of more highlight to the yellow flowers, and that's pretty much it. I hope you're well. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.